Hi everyone, it's Lori-Lynn with Spirit Within Us, and if you don't know, I am a medium, intuitive, and an empath, what I do is that called a Journey of the Soul. That's what Spirit has led me to do, this Journey of the Soul readings, and it's to help you live your life with passion, living authentically, living life, loving who you are, being who you are every single minute. And that's why I say in the morning, the first question you ask yourself is, what is my greatest ideal of myself today? How can I create this day to be as magnificent as I want it to be? What can I do? And it's through thoughts, choices, actions, reactions, responses. It's being totally conscious. So we need to open our consciousness and be aware of everything, not be led around, but we also have to find that highest commitment to ourselves and to life. We came here for a reason, and so we need to discover that, and so often we're blocked. And so it's my job as an intuitive and a medium to help you find those blocks. And that's what I do on a one-on-one basis in my work, is that I help people to find those blocks, and then we work through meditation, hypnosis, and just different tools that I give them. I was going to say assign them, because anyways, and then they work through them and we work together until they can release those blocks that are holding them back from being the most incredible person and sharing that joy with the rest of the world. And so what I like to do in this channel is, first, we are going to have a pick a card, and so you can think about it. And so the first, it's one of my favorite, is crystal quartz. It is raw, and yellow pyramid. Oops, it's fine underneath. And my green calcite. So there's pile 1, 2, and 3. But first, we're going to kind of take a look at an overall energy, the general reading for the day, like what's behind a lot of it, and maybe give a little bit of insight. So all I can say is that there's always a message for some, like you, whoever reads this, within the video. So take with you what resonates and just leave the rest behind. If it, doesn't all make sense, because doing a universal, I have to expand and just say, whoever needs to hear this message is going to pop onto this and hear it. I have this belief that anybody that needs to see me will come see me. I also, because I do connect as a medium, I don't do that really on this this YouTube, because I like to do it energetically. However, I have, I know I have, from the people that have gotten a hold of me. It's just that energetic connection that says, hey, I like just kind of pounds on my head and says, you need to say this. And so it's for somebody. So if that happens, it does, but I can't guarantee it on a universal YouTube. Anyways, this is my passion. I love what I do. I'm grateful, and I'm very, very blessed to be able to do this. It's always in the highest interest. And so I always ask that, that the divine opens up all channels and that my messages are clear and concise. Okay, so we will start with the universal message. And today, wow, okay, so today, two of the royalty cards that come up are the Spirit of Water and the Warrior of Metal. And Spirit of Water is the Spirit of Cups. Spirit of Hearts are of the Queen of Cups. And so this is somebody that really is emotionally stable. And it's someone that really is led by their emotions. So if this describes yourself or if this describes another. But it's also, on the opposite side, is the Warrior of Metal. And the Warrior of Metal is a male, obviously. But this person really is the breath of life. And what they are in your life is to bring out that love within yourself. Okay? So they're determined, they're organized, They just have this beautiful personality that is very unselfish, that if they're in your life, they're helping you to heal, to bring out the very best in yourself. You, on the other hand, because you lead with the feminine side leads with emotion, it's to teach this other side that they may have emotional boundaries around themselves. So one side's trying to bring out the passion, the other side's trying to bring out the love that's within ourselves. And when we lead from love, I believe we can't go wrong if we're always leading from that place of truthfulness of love and not the fear aspect of love. And the cards, the companion cards that come with this are the wisdom of the hawk and the wisdom of the spider. And so those two cards, the wisdom of the hawk is a visionary, very clear-sighted, is able to lift himself up to see beyond, to see from a different perspective. It's not like the eagle, because the eagle will sit like in a tree up top, but what the hawk does is they fly around and they can see so much because they go to great heights to see really with a different perspective than when you're close down and really looking. So this is saying that there may be a situation that you're involved in that requires you to kind of step outside of yourself, maybe to see the love within yourself, or maybe to see how another person that you're dealing with, how they are, that their reactions and responses are different than yours, and that's okay. The wisdom of the spider is about patience. The spider is a master weaver, and whenever we come in contact with spiders, aside from screaming, it's really to see they create these webs that are, first and foremost, they are beautiful. They're not just like haphazardly. They create the web. They really put time and effort in knowing how to create it so that it's strong. If you've ever gotten caught in a web, webs are strong. So there is a strength, a bond that these two people need to understand that, oh, okay, that together, that together is the greatest strength. That together, that unity, that bond, that creativity, like both sides together are stronger together than apart. I hope that makes sense. And from this, and it doesn't, you can actually just look at your situation and see how it can reflect upon it. This could be at work, this could be at home, or this could be just with an outside love or a friendship. Just see how together you're better, and each person's qualities together are stronger. And with this comes healing. So in order to understand or to get to the healing part of it is, you know what, you really need to meditate to cleanse away impurities and any disease, not disease, but dis-ease within the body, and renourish every cell, every tissue, every fiber within your body. And then when you start coming out of your meditation, you'll feel restored to a healthier state. And so we want to, invigorate and rejuvenate our cells and cleanse out so that we can truly heal ourselves and be the person that we so much want to be, understanding a togetherness that we may not have understood before. And so that's the universal message of today. So again, there's 3 piles. There's the clear calcite, the yellow, and the green. And hopefully this will give you a little bit more insight into exactly where you are in your journey and oh my gosh, and along your pathway. So we're going to start with pile number 1, which is the clear calcite. So I'm going to remove those. Okay, so the clear sight, pile number 1. And let's see, I'm going to use the Mystic Tarot cards and the Osho Meditation deck, my favorite deck. And then these card deck, I don't know the name to. And then the shamans to see who's with you to help support your journey today. Okay. So the first card that comes up is the Three of Pentacles. So for pile number 1, this is about what you're dealing with over the next couple of days is working together, working unified. This may be about understanding giving from a place of love, but it's working together. And how can you work together to improve the situation, to make better the situation? And I'm not saying that you're in a bad situation. What I'm saying is there can be improvements within a situation. So maybe there needs to be some change. And so it's working together, and that's seeing how important and understanding the importance of working together as a team. And okay, wow, the second card that comes up is the card of the Queen of Cups, which is the Spirit of Water. So this really is about your role in your situation, in where you're at, and it may be even just a self role for you, and understanding the mind, body, spirit, understanding your role in your relationships, and always responding from that place of love, and to calm the emotions, to come from the love state of an emotional commitment. And that's with kids, at work, but just doing what you love, loving what you do, doing it passionately, but doing it really from that place of joy, happiness, and love. And that's your role. And it's always going back to mindfulness and remembering, recalling, knowing, and knowing why you're doing something. Interesting that was just said to me is that even say if there's something that's maybe you have a child or a friend, a boyfriend, a husband, whatever, that's done something wrong, see from that higher perspective, and maybe really allow yourself to jump outside of the immediate thoughts, and to step back and to respond from love. And then you can react and give advice, or give whatever needs to happen. Always from a place of love, not from a place of fear or reactionary or anger. You want to give from a place of love. Okay, so that's that role. Wow, interesting that the final card is of Judgment in the tarot deck. And the Judgment is remembering that there are people that really... Judgment's so tough because we live in a society that really places a lot of emphasis on judgment. And everybody's always judging. And so it's such a huge lesson, because judgment usually comes from past. And so when you look at the cards and you see the mummies, and really the mummies should... we need to cut the cords from the mummies. I keep wanting to say we need to cut the dummies, the mummies. We need to cut that judgment. And so stop placing judgment. You don't know anybody else's path. You don't know what anybody else is going through. So it's a huge lesson to understand judgment, to get to that place where you can respond, where you can make your judgment from a place of love. And that's why the Queen of Cups is so important here, is to respond, react, and give your perspective, but also ask questions. We don't ask enough questions today. We often prefer to just judge rather than finding out the truth behind what's going on. Like, what is really bothering you, or what's really bothering me? What's the most important? And so we get to choose how we respond, react, and move forward in any situation. So that's what the Judgment card is about, is making those decisions, those choices. Judgments also can be a very positive card, because it could be now finding that you may have been judging yourself, and you may have been judging yourself harshly. And so that you do just understanding that you do deserve to live that best life, that that life that you really are passionate about. And perhaps it's time to, so stop judging yourself or judging the response related to past experiences, and just make a decision to live the life that you want to live. So the next three cards that clarify this, and the first card is aloneness. And so the card of aloneness is really talks about, it's coming from a place of perhaps being alone, is that you needed to have that time to reinvent yourself, but it's not reinventing. It's going through your thoughts. It's going on a journey to finding that light within yourself, that love within yourself, and understanding the differences between being lonely and being alone. But being alone was to be able to rejuvenate ourselves, to open ourselves up. So that part was really, really important. It wasn't meant to, push you aside, but it was meant for you to grow and to learn more. So again, going back to that vision of the hawk or the wisdom of the hawk, is seeing it from a different perspective. And so as you were, on this journey of being perhaps more alone, you needed to be alone at this time. The next card that comes up is the card of past lives. And so the knowledge within that card itself is understanding that there may be a past life connection within the relationships that you're connected with, or just in a situation that you're in, and you're having to heal that. So perhaps, you had to be alone to find that love within yourself, to step out of your comfort zone, because perhaps that was something that you were afraid to do in past lives. And it may have been with another as well. And so it's understanding. And so, looking back and saying, you know what, maybe this is something that's karma. Karma isn't about, he yelled at me, so I get, something's bad going to happen to him. That's not karma. Karma is typically related to past lives, or a past situation where, you said something to somebody, really, that was very hurtful. And then all of a sudden becoming aware of what you actually said and learning from that, and then coming forward and from a place of love. Okay, so that's what karma is about. I hope I explained that correctly. It's not about cutting people off in traffic. And so that's always by doing the Hawaiian prayer that I say every single time, that, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, and I love you. And that's healing, because you want to patch up, you want to heal all the relationships, so that your heart is really clearly open to all the love that's available. The final card on pile number 3 really is the card of schizophrenia. And that's the card about the push and pull. It means that, sometimes it seems easy to relate to other people, and then other times you may feel sad and down, and other times you may feel angry. And what it's about, especially when it's dealing with the Queen of Cups and the card of the Judgment, it's really about looking at the whole entire picture. And so rather than feeling like you're, sometimes going crazy, that you're allowed to have all emotions. And so allow all emotions. Again, each and every emotion that we have, it takes our body 90 seconds to process each and every emotion. So allow yourself to feel those emotions. After that, it becomes a choice. Okay, so once it becomes a choice, you say, do I want to stick within that emotion, or do I want to change it and now have a different response? Okay, if I want to be angry at somebody, be angry for 90 seconds and then do the, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you, and let it go. And change that emotion. You get to choose to change the emotion. You get to choose every single thing that happens in your life. It's choice. Choosing how you respond, react, and give to others, okay? So, wow. Very interesting is that this card is a card of goals. And so set a goal, write it down, and release the outcomes. And then realize that small steps often make a big, huge difference. So take small steps. If you can't take these gigantic steps, take small steps towards reaching your goal. If you say you have a goal of exercising every day, I do the Fountain of Youth exercises every morning. You're supposed to do, there's 5 rights, and that's what they're called. And they want you to get to a total of 21 of each day. Well, if you can't do 21, do 3 and be proud of that. Don't say, oh, I haven't done them all. And be really passionate about what you're doing. Set your goals. And if you just can do 1 a day, 2 a day, and increase it, those are small steps. The next thing you know, you made a big difference in your life. And so set your goals of what does passion mean to yourself? What is your passion that you want to live by? If it's being a mom, be passionate about that. And don't let anybody place judgment on you, and then don't place judgment on yourself. If your passion is to be married in this wonderful relationship, don't let anybody else tell you, well, no, you need to go out, and don't let anybody else place judgment upon you. Okay? Because you're allowing that yourself. So that set your goals, your personal goals of what that passion is inside of yourself, and start living step by step by step by step until your steps have made a huge difference. Wow. The shaman that's with you today is the spirit of nurture. And so that goes along with all of this. This is about nurturing our goals. This is about nurturing our heart. This is about nurturing our passions. This is about nurturing our soul's desires, our soul's life. But it's so much about love, and it is about giving and receiving and working together unified. Okay, so that's pile 1. So thank you. And pile number 2 is the yellow pineapple. And so for pile number 2, the 3 tarot deck cards. The first one, wow, it's the 10 of Wands. Okay, so this card is, 10s are usually the start of a new beginning. And this is about action and passion. And so honestly, you probably have a lot of passions inside of yourself, and you really want to start producing, start being the person that you want to be. But instead of going out and doing things, you're kind of like stepping back, and I'm just going to sit back here, and I'm going to pout, and I'm going to say, well, it's not coming to me. Well, start doing. Start doing. Take action. You're the one that is in the midst of all of this stuff. You've got all these great ideas, all these creativities. You have all of this, but you're sitting inside pouting. Why isn't why? So it's getting out and doing. Okay, so that's where you're at right now. It's about doing, believing and doing. Wow. So the second card is, so what I'm going to say is that this is the 8 of Pentacles, and 8s are about, well, first of all, it's an infinity symbol. It's about unity, but it's also about hard work and putting in the work. And so from here, it's taking the action. This is the card of putting in the work. You've put in a lot of work. And so maybe you're stuck in a place of, well, I've worked really hard. Why aren't I where I want to be? And it's because of this, I'm going to say self-loathing, instead of taking the proper action. You've done the hard work. And so you've got to change your mindset on that. See above the bigger perspective. See beyond your eyes. See beyond into your third eye. Connect with spirit and see that you've worked hard. and that you've created, and now the ripeness is right. You're ready. So, you have to set new intentions and start living that life of passion that you want to live. But only you can make that choice, and only you can do it. It's not going to come knocking at your door. Well, it might, but it may, but then you have to answer the door. So you've got to start living that life that you want to live, okay? You've worked really hard to get there, so start living it. The third card, okay, is a Five of Wands. Five of Wands is all about ego. They're holding back. Fives are about courage. And so, again, this is about a unity of, a couple, and, this is about ego, mostly. The dragon is ego. It's like the devil card. It's ego. Five is courage. So having the courage to step outside your ego and, healing yourself, knowing that you've put in a lot of work. So don't give up. It's not the time to give up. That's your ego that's saying you need to give up. It's stepping outside the ego. Our ego can do so much damage to us because our ego is usually that side that's saying, no, you're not good enough. You're not worthy enough. So have the courage to believe in yourself. I watched something yesterday that reminded me of this, and it's really that person that needs to believe in us most of all is ourselves. Having other people believe in us. You may have 1,000 people that believe in you, but you have to believe in yourself. And so step outside your ego to believe in yourself, and start sending yourself those messages. Have the courage to take that chance, to take that step. Okay, so the clarifying cards that you're working with today is, first of all, the card of fighting. And this is really about, so, when it comes with the Ten of Wands, this is about, it's almost like the mind games, but you're fighting within yourself. And it's probably because, with the cards that are here, about past messages or things that people have said to you or people have done to you. So there may be fear that needs to be healed. Okay, so you know what? Take off that armor. Take off that armor so that you can shine, so that passion within you can shine forward, so that you can live that life that you deserve, that you want to live. You have to stop fighting. There's a difference between having passion and moving forward, and being like this, because that doesn't get you anywhere. And it does, that hurts actually. It doesn't allow in anything because you've got that armor up. So let that fighting go and decide, I'm not going to fight anymore. I don't want to fight. I don't need to fight. Okay. And the second card, wow. The second card is guidance. And this is spiritual guidance. It's not just regular, ordinary guidance. Be really aware that you are guided by spirit. Ask for spirit's help to come in. Ask for your guides. We all have our soul guides, and we also have other guides that are around us daily. Some people say there are 5 guides. I think that it really varies between people. I don't follow a lot of rules, sorry. But I know we do have a spirit guide that comes with us at birth, that helps us along our journey. And so call upon your spirit guide. With the 8 of Pentacles, that's about wisdom. And so that's coming out of knowledge and into wisdom. And the wisdom is knowing that there is a higher divine plan, higher divine unity, connection for us. So ask for spirit's guidance. Spirit will come if you ask. And say, you know what, I need that support. I've let all of this stuff go. I'm still scared a little bit. Can you come help me not be scared? Can I give my fear to you? Can you help me to live that life of passion? And just ask those questions, and spirit will be there for you. The last card of the card is of laziness. Okay. And I've seen this card be described in some different ways. And what the card says up until this point, you've really just been too lazy. Plain and simple. You'd rather have things come to you rather than actually, doing the work, but you've done the work. It's the next step that you've been lazy about. So it's almost like your block is that, okay, well, you know, I've been kind, I've been nice, I've done things for other things, blah, 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 whatever it is. But there's a step that's missing. And that missing step is that action, is that, you know, is knowing that that passion is within you and connecting with it, asking for spirit for help, but getting quiet and then making the steps, taking the steps, like, get over yourself, okay? And start, because it's tied with the ego, yeah, okay, so being tied with the ego is really, truly, get over yourself, and you need to now start doing. It's time to do, okay? So you're just there's a time for relaxing and there's a time for action. And for you, it's time for action. Okay, so the card, this card is called Independent. Decide for yourself, exercise your right to choose. And I do believe this card is so much about having heard different messages, probably as a child or throughout your life. And it's really kind of walking away from that to be independent and understanding your independence of making your own choices from a place of love, making your own choices from where you are right now, making your own choices, your own decisions, your own, you know, you get to place your own value on yourself, and what everybody else thinks really is none of your business. It's not about you, that's about them. So this is about really finding your independence and doing it your way. It's like in this picture, this beautiful woman has these butterflies. And that also reminds me of that spirit is around. And so, you know, spirit pushing you to say, go out and do. Don't follow the crowd. Be your own leader. You can be a leader. So it's time to take the lead. Okay. And the shaman card is the ancestor of protection. And really that, so because the ego's there, because, you know, you're sitting in this, and because you have put a lot of work into this, this person, pile number 2, I do believe the possibility that you were very hurt as a child, whether from, you know, you may have gotten wrong messages, messages that were not kind. And so ask spirit for protection. Protect yourself in a sense of putting up, you know, the white light around you always, and then put up you the healing light around you, which is the blue light, and then the golden light, and really make that strong so that when, you know, as you're stepping outside of yourself, of getting out of your own way, of getting over yourself, as I said, that you're going to no longer care what other people are saying about you, because you're going to be strong. You're going to start living your passion, doing what you're passionate about, and it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. That's what the independence is about, and that's what the protection is about. It's about cutting off those messages and being your own true self, your own true identity, and living your life with that passion that you so deserve. You deserve to live the life that you came here to live. And so everything you've lived up until this point has brought you to this point of being able to live as you want to live. That we choose our life. And so it's time to start living the life that you chose to live. Okay, so that's pile number 2. Pile number 3, the green calcite. Okay, the 3 cards from the tarot deck. And the first card is, wow, the Ace of Wands. So this is, you are somebody right now that is ready to take action. Okay, so you've learned a lot of lessons. You've seen things from different ways. You see that there's so much before you, and it's time, you know, it's time to take action. So you've done planning, you're there, you're ready to go. So go. Clear, plain and simple, go start living the passion that you want to. You want to be an artist, be an artist. You want to be an actor, be an actor. Go out and do it. You have done all of the work. You have conquered your ego. You've conquered judgment. You've conquered so much. And now you know that you're deserving. It's time to step out and start. Just go. Just go. That's the place. The world is your friend. The second card, which is the card of the challenge, and it's the Nine of Swords. So what you've really, the blocks or any blocks that have come are all things that, you know, people have said to you, told you. And so if there's, what may be holding you back are those messages, and really realizing that they're not about you, they're about them. And they're about jealousy, to be honest. That's what this card is about. That's just what it said. So maybe that's the fear of, you know that the world is ahead of you, but jealousy is a tough one. And you have to move outside of that and know that, and just shut them off, shut it down. Jealousy is their problem, not your problem. It's their problem. And so whatever it is you want to do it. Don't worry about the people that, the naysayers are the people that are jealous. They got their own stuff to deal with. They got their own trip happening, and let them be. And don't allow it to stop you, okay? And don't think you're better than. I don't think that you think you're better than, but that's maybe perhaps what they think, and that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. So those thoughts, those, they're just, it's, you chose to be challenged. And so that challenge always comes in a way of, are you, you're saying to yourself, am I really ready? Yes, I am really ready. And then, so someone comes in and something happens, you have to continue the journey. Okay, that's what it's about. You're ready, you're taking your trip, and then all of a sudden something happens and you go, oh, that's for you to jump through, to jump over on the other side of, because it's like, do you really believe? And the answer is yes, you do. And yes, you are ready. Okay. And well, of course, the final card is card of the Queen of Wands. And that is someone that is trustworthy, beautiful, serene. She's really captured her emotions. Conquered her emotions. She knows who she is. She's been on a journey, and now it's about really having pride in oneself. And it's not the ego pride, but it's pride in a good job done. You've done the work, and it's, who you want to be, what you want to do. It's time and you're ready. And so, let the messages, block the messages, literally send them back, just send them back. And then do the, I can't say it, so I say the Hawaiian blessing, but send it back to them. That's not about me, that's about you. And I get to choose. Get to choose who I am, where I'm going, and what I want. I am going to live my life with passion, okay? And set the goals, the rules. So there is the card of the Ace of Wands is the card that clarifies the card of with rebirth. And so that is this change that you've gone through. You have done a lot of hard work to get where you are, to get to be who you are. And so understand that, and that's where that pride comes from. Understand that you've worked really hard, and nobody ever can take that away from you. And the card that clarifies the the card of Nine of Swords is a card of celebration. And that's a really positive, clarifying card, because it's saying that you've listened, you've heard. So the block is within living your passion is you've stopped listening to the naysayers, to the people that have, or you've spoken your truth. And so now it's time to celebrate because you're allowed to move forward. Okay, so take the time to celebrate the fact that you are living your life the way that you want to live on your own terms, doing what you love to do. Wow. So the Queen of Wands is so much about having learned to trust ourselves, trust our inner self, trust our lives, our journey. And the final card really is of trust. And so you want to take action. Here it is. If you're not sure, jump. Just go for it. And if there's a choice to make, your heart will beat so fast that you'll know which is the right choice. So just say, ready, set, go, and I am off. And I'm going to trust in myself. Perhaps because of this Nine of Swords that was here, that you haven't felt that people have believed in you, or that people have trusted in you. And it doesn't matter. It's you have to trust yourself. And find that, sorry, I just looked at the next card. Find that trust in yourself. Don't rely on other people. People will trust you when you trust you. It makes sense to me once you understand that, you learn it, and you start living it. This card is about a revelation. And so that's your message, is listen to your life. And so when I said trust, just jump. The right path will reveal itself. And that's when you trust, the right path will reveal itself. I learned something really great about trust and fear yesterday, because when I talk a lot about it, that faith and fear cannot coexist. And sometimes there's, we do have these, when you want something, it's about, you can still trust and believe that you're going to get it, but sometimes there might be, periods of self-doubt. It's to move past that. And so I kind of go back on that. It's when you sit in that fear and faith cannot coexist. When you really trust that that's going to happen, that thing that you're passionate about is going to happen. Sometimes you can be a little fearful because maybe all the steps haven't happened, or something hasn't changed. But if you just allow that emotion, that feeling for that 90 seconds, and then choose to, okay, I'm going to move on, and I'm going to trust, and I'm going to celebrate, and I'm going to, reveal that path. I trust that the right path will reveal itself. The one that needs to happen, come to me. Okay, so the final card is the Ancestor of Boundaries. And I'll put up again, this card really reflects on the Nine of Swords. And what that's about is very much about those messages that, people have, like the jealousies, the people that, the naysayers, or just people that are negative. And set the boundaries that you're not going to listen to it, that you don't want to be involved in. I hate people that know me well, I know that I don't like people talking about other people. I don't want to be in a conversation where people are, talking about somebody else. I dislike it very much, because I think it's a reflection of ourselves. And we all have problems, and we've all done something wrong. We have all made mistakes. And so when we get caught up in that, we're not looking at ourselves. We're not being loving and kind and compassionate. And so I set up boundaries. And so when conversations like that begin, I just walk away. I will. So know what your boundaries are, and know what you want to listen to, what you want to hear, what you want to bring in. If you want to, someone says, oh, I have a plan, or I have an idea. This is what I'm going to do. Someone says, and I've been through this exact thing recently. and it was something that I wanted to do. And then somebody said, oh, Mom, that's not what you should be doing, blah, blah, you know, whatever it is. And I thought, I really went through on a roller coaster of that. And I said, why can't I just do what I want to do and make my own decisions? And there may be reasons, and maybe you should ask me what my reasons are. And I will take your advice, I will take your opinion, but I am still going to. I'm going to set my boundaries that I am still going to live the life that I am passionate about, the one that I want to live. Okay? So that is group number 3. And so I'm just going to pick out 2 mantra cards. It's from the Spiritual Attraction, Bringing Forth. So I'm just going to pick out 2 cards for each pile. 1, 2, and 3. So for pile 1, your mantra would be, or your thought would be, manifesting is the creative process of aligning with the energy of the universe to co-create an experience that elevates my spirit and the spirit of the world. So understand that about manifesting, bringing in that passion that you have. Again, that's manifesting is the creative process of aligning with the energy of the universe to co-create an experience that elevates my spirit and the spirit of the world. And that may be your duty. For me, I want to elevate my spirit and the spirit of the world. I want to live my life passionately, and I want to share that with other people. So that's very much aligned with what I choose and want to do. So the second group, the message is, my greatest spiritual shifts come through force. My greatest spiritual shifts don't come through force. They come through freedom. And that's the card. And that's very beautiful. So just remember that your greatest spiritual shifts come through freedom, not through force. Strength is not about force. It's about freedom, and it's about love. That, to me, is what strength is about. Wow. Group number 3, the mantra is, when I introduce joy to a situation, I change the vibrational frequency of what's happening around me. And that's really important with the messages that you received. When I introduce joy to a situation, I change the vibrational frequency of what's happening around me. You can change any situation. If you're in a situation that when everyone's yip-yapping about everybody else, and they're, change it. Choose to change it. I can tell you without a doubt, and it's one of actually I have my sister and my nephew. It's their greatest, absolute greatest gifts. And I wrote this. I had to write something for my nephew for school, and one of the things I said was his greatest gift is he walks into a room and the room just lights up. The whole energy changes. And if that's what you want, your joy can change the energy in any room. That's the power that we have within ourselves. Okay? So, namaste. If you like this video, subscribe, please share, all those things you're supposed to do. I don't really do a lot of that. So I don't hand out my business cards just because I truly believe people will come to me, although I do want to reach as many people as possible. So like, share, comment, have an amazing, wonderful day. Love yourself, live the greatest ideal of what you believe today should look like. Much love, namaste, happiness and joy. Take care. Later, Lori.